Hello everybody. I got lots of stuff going on, new stuff going on in the fish room, and I thought I'd show you all what's going on in this full tour of all my tanks. So, this is Mark, and you're watching Mark Shelly Aquatics. Enjoy. Alright, so this is the part of my tanks I call the fish room closet. As you can see, it's a great big closet. So we've got 10-20 longs on this wall. We've got 10-20 longs on this wall. And we have 8 40 gallons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Most of these tanks are for breeding shrimp, some guppies, plecos, and lots of plants. Shrimp, guppies, plants, and plecos. Alright, we'll start over here, then we'll make our way over here, and then we'll talk about these 40s. Alright. So this is a red shrimp tank. High quality Sakura red shrimp tank. We got lots of babies starting to pop up. I just recently converted this tank into a shrimp tank after it had been, this had been my rainbow tiger inler tank for a while. I decided to do shrimp in this tank. And next tank down, we have my red mosaic, big ear red mosaic fry tank. Right now, these are all the babies I cut out of my outside pond that I did for these guys this year. Letting these fry grow out to see what we end up with. And also I have breeder baskets on this tank and this tank for the red mosaics, because in here is the keeper tank. I have 3 tanks for these guys. One is for the select breeder group, the fry group, and this is the main adult colony, I guess you could call it. So a really good one right there. Okay. So then our next tank down is going to be I just started this as a Bloody Mary tank not that long ago. And we have a short fin green dragon Pleco in here. A new Bloody Mary tank. Just getting settled in. They're all doing pretty good. This tank is going to be doing real good. And below that, my newest blue jelly tank. These guys are good hiders, I'll say that. They're doing good. They're doing good. You may be wondering why I have a heater in a shrimp tank, and if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you realize when I did this tank it didn't have a heater in it. But when I checked the temperature in it, sitting on here on the floor, it's starting to get cold out. It's actually, we're getting our first snow, and this tank was down to 61 degrees. I was like, yeah. And I'd put them plecos in here. This pleco, this tank has a long, thin albino Pleco in it, and I figure I keep at least 68, 70 for the shrimp and the Plecos. So that's what I've been doing here. And you'll notice most of my tanks have some kind of DIY sponge filter set up. This one is just run off air. Some of them, like this one, have a power head. So everything runs off sponge filters in here. So those are the first 5 20 longs. Now we'll come over here. And I wanted to do this because I'm in a transition. You'll see a lot of tanks that don't have a whole lot going on. It's because they were transferred over to being shrimp tanks instead of something else before. This is my new green jade tank that I've just started. They were all just out earlier. There's some nice looking ones. The green jade tank, newest one. And then the next tank down we have my Japan blues. I just reset this colony, and I left some shrimp in here and tried to get them all out, but I didn't. So that's alright. I'm sure they'll all breed and do good. Okay, and then I think I have all my tanks serving a useful purpose mostly, other than this tank, and this tank. And these are tanks that are going to end up being shrimp tanks. And this one is a shrimp tank, and it's also the remnants of my black rose colony. And here we've got remnants of a guppy colony and remnants of a guppy colony, and there's a bunch of shrimp in both these tanks, so I won't spend a whole lot of time talking about them. So that is that for the 10-20 longs in the closet. Now let's talk about the 840 breeders in here. This tank is my biggest, most popular tank as far as shrimp lines go. These guys are my blue jellies, and I've had lots of people wanting to buy these guys. I've had them marked as sold out, and today, after this video is uploaded, I am going to make them. Everyone wants to know when I'm going to make these available again. I'm going to make 50 of them available. I'm going to explain to you why I didn't make them available before, when there's clearly lots and lots of shrimp in here. And I wanted to make sure my numbers will keep going and be good. So I had tons and tons and tons of really small ones in here, and look at this. I always said when I started seeing buried ones of the small generation, then I would start selling again. I would open them back up to be sold. And I was looking at these guys really close last night, and I seen the smallest buried shrimp I've ever seen. And some might only have like 5 or 6 eggs, but they're really, really little shrimp, and they're buried. There's a few. There's another little one. I'm seeing lots of really good buried ones. There's one with a few eggs, I think. Yep. They're all small. There's not that many great big ones left, but let's see. There's another small one. That one's got quite a few eggs. So I'll make some of these available, but again on the website. But everyone wanted to know, I said I'd talk about it in a video. So everyone will have their chance to get some of my blue jellies. Well, that's what I wanted to make sure. Because I'm only selling what I breed on my website, markshellyaqutics.com. And so I gotta be responsible. I can't be selling these guys too low, because more shrimp make more shrimp faster than not more shrimp. That's always been my and then over here we have a 40-gallon that is orange shrimp that need cold real bad, and it's pretty much impossible with this giant crypt. So we'll get some shots over here. These guys are really good orange shrimp. I need to get in there and get some culling done. They throw some reds and some yellows from time to time. Some bad ones I got to get in there and get out of. But these top tanks are pretty hard. And I actually am in the middle of doing snail removal. We got way too many snails. Okay, so now I'm standing on a ladder now. So I'm going to get down off the ladder and we continue this without me defying death. Okay, this tank here is dedicated to my super red Plecos. And there's dozens and dozens of these Plecos in here. And there's some yellow shrimp and some other shrimp in here. And like I said, I'm in the middle of doing snail removal. So there is that. But all the Plecos like hiding, so they're not being cooperative for a good video right now. Unfortunately. Just a few. Like I said, the snails are a work in progress. And then over here we have the Blue Dream. This is my main Blue Dreams colony. Blue Dreams. All in the moss. Lots of baby Plecos in here. These shrimp are feasting on some algae wafers. Alright, let's go on down to the next tank. Okay, so this next tank is mainly my Panda Guppy tank. And we have some long, thin, blue-eyed Plecos in here. And we got what's left of some low-grade green jades in here for shrimp. But this tank is mainly for the Panda Guppies. Got lots of little fry swimming around everywhere. This tank is doing real good. I'm real happy with it right now. Alright, we've got the Bloody Mary shrimp in this tank. And we've got the long, thin green dragon Plecos. like this tank. This tank is probably one of my favorite tanks right now. The Bloody Mary shrimp and the longfin green plecos. And then below this here on the floor, we have the Skittles tank. All kinds of different colors. Anytime I have shrimp I need cold or do something with, extra shrimp, they all come in here. And they're all allowed to interbreed. We got all kinds of crazy, mixed up, crazy genetics going on in here. And this is one of my favorite tanks as well. All the crazy green, teal, blue, crazy cool looking wilds. Some kind of really with a blue body instead of clear. There's just all kinds of interesting stuff going on in this tank. Makes it one of my favorite tanks. So many different shrimp going on here. Alright, that leaves us one more 40 gallon. So this tank is still kind of a mess. And it has guppies in it now. It has my full red, very, very, very nice guppy line. Super nice. They're just not doing as good for me as I would like, and I want to use this tank for shrimp. So I used to have several guppy lines and a few shrimp lines, and I have basically I've turned into a shrimp farm with a handful of tanks. I do keep 2 lines of guppies for fun, and then everything else is farming shrimp at this point. There's also a super red calico pleco in here. Now there's more than one. These guys haven't bred yet as far as the plecos go. And these guys, you can tell the lemon blue eyes are breeding in the tank above. And yesterday oh, there's one. I saw a brand new little baby in here yesterday. There's one right there. Hadn't seen one since yesterday afternoon. There's one. Okay. So that is my fish room closet. I have 27 tanks running total. The smallest being 20 gallons. And those are 18 of them in my closet. So, there's that. And then the next part of the fish room is here in my back in my family room. I got this, the 29 gallon, and my great big 110 gallon Guppy pond stock tank. If you guys watch my channel, I'm sure you've seen my inside Guppy pond. Look at all of them. So many of them. So many little pretty fish in here. So, I just talked about my Skittles tank a little bit ago, where throwing all my extra shrimp, and they all breed and have all kinds of crazy cool stuff happening with their genetics. And this is what's going on. This is the Guppy version of that. And I grow all kinds of crazy plants, trying to grow Nubius out of the water. And look at this. We have got it flowering. That's what a Nubius flower looks like up out of the water. So we haven't got a whole bunch of new leaves, but we've got a flower. So that's cool, right? I keep fighting duckweed in this thing and fighting duckweed in this thing, and it always just keeps coming back. And we've got all kinds of crazy weird shrimp in here too. Most of these, like if I have a tank that's just all wilds and nothing interesting, I always just throw them in here. And even then, just throwing all wilds and uninteresting shrimp in here, you still end up with a cool shrimp. Not as many cool ones, but you still get some cool ones. That's the inside guppy pond. Now we'll come over here. And here I have 420 highs. A 75 gallon and a 20 gallon long on the floor. So this is I have 3 colonies. This is my second one of my blue jellies. Now these guys haven't been culled yet, and their colors don't show up that good when you don't have them on dark substrate. They look way better on dark substrate than they do bare bottom. But we've got tons of huge buried mamas in here. That one's got a lot of red on it. I got some culls in here for sure, and that's definitely on the to-do list. We're getting to have a decent amount of shrimp in here. And then next to this is a tank. I'm so happy. I almost screwed up. I almost killed my snowball shrimp line off. I was down to, it might have been less than 10 shrimp in here. Not that long ago, because I was trying to do guppies in here and shrimp, and then I had to bomb the tank with guppy meds, and the shrimp seemed to be fine at first, but then they started dying. I have hundreds in here now. Snowballs are good. Shrimp success story. I'll have to put some of these back on the website as well. And here is my second tank of Blue Dreams. Now, I think I'm going to do something interesting on this on a future video, so stick around and watch. I'm going to try to do some different kind of culling with this tank. This is the second Blue Dreams tank. And then the fourth 20 high is my big ear red mosaic breeder group. I saw some newborn fry in here last night, so that's cool. This guy is old. I was collecting fry and he was my breeder male last winter. And he was a fully mature stunner last winter. And now he's an old, ragged old man. And he just won't die. He's still going super strong. So there's the 420 highs. Boom, 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 boom. And then below that, well, yeah, I guess it probably still is my favorite tank, maybe. I don't know. It's the tank I sit at. I'm sitting in my seat, my lounging chair, recliner. So this tank gets looked at the most. This is the tank I look at more than any of the others, because it's sitting right here where I sit at most of the time. Lots of red shrimp and lots of brown and albino plecos. Moss growing on the sponge intakes. Okay, and then there's the one down here on the floor, and this tank is this is a fun shrimp experiment tank. So let me explain. When I started this tank, the plan was to do an orange shrimp tank. So I got like 15, 20 super nice orange shrimp put in here. And this tank had been a guppy tank, and there's shrimp in here, and it was all just wild, crazy shrimp. I shop vacked it out. I thought I got everything out, and apparently I didn't, because I started finding weird. This shrimp is one of the original ones. That is a wild, wild shrimp, and I think she was left behind pregnant and dropped a bunch of whatever you have it. But when they started mixing, there's a bunch of black and blue shrimp in here with some reds and Bloody Mary looking things. That's what was in here. And so you have black, blue, mostly black and blue genetics mixing with really nice orange shrimp, completely on accident. And before I caught it, the tank had got overgrown, and I just didn't keep on top of it, and this is what happened. But why I didn't just take all the bad ones out as soon as I discovered it, because look, there are a lot of these wild looking shrimp, black, brown, and they have a yellow back stripe. And I thought that was really interesting. That was pretty cool. So one day I'll let this tank get crazy overgrown with shrimp, and I'll take them all out, put them in the Skittles tank or something. But I'm just enjoying it. To be honest. I like seeing the different colors mixed in together. Personally, I think I like the mixed tanks better than the perfect line shrimp. I like them all. I enjoy a bit of variety. And in that tank you got interesting variety. Alright, so that's this little rack, the 420 highs, the 75, and the 20 long below it. So that means we have the 29 gallon and another 75 gallon to look at, and that'll be all of them. This is my 29 gallon, and I'm really digging it right now. Panda guppy tank. I've been trying to get valve going in here for a while. This tank's over a year old now. Been trying to get valve going in it, and now the valves finally started going in it. We got some duckweed, and I let some pearl weed float at the surface. Fry cover. Lots of panda guppies in here. And then one of my favorite plants I have is, this is Florida Sunset Crypt. And it's a special variety of cryptoid deadeye, I do believe. I'm 99% certain of that. And it is one of my favorites. I'm definitely going to have tanks covered in this someday. My favorite crypt. Alright. So then we have one more tank. And it's the only tank in the front of the house. So all the other tanks are in the very back of the house, and right here's the front door. And this is my 75 gallon green jade tank. And we have some long fin super red plecos in here as well. Lots of crypts. Look at this enormous, giant Nubius. We got some cool Lots of crypt things going on everywhere. Giant Anubias. This is again one of my other favorite tanks. So, if you guys see anything you like, you can check out my website, Mark Shelly Aquatics. That's all 27 tanks. That's pretty wild. So, I didn't really have an idea for a video this weekend. I did, but with the having to work, I didn't have time to really do anything. I like to make my videos where I'm doing something and showing how I do it. I don't really feel like doing anything other than water changes this week, to be honest, and some snow removal. So I thought I'd make a nice long tour video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and if you haven't yet, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.